Hello. Today we're going to discuss death benefits. Unfortunately, there are times when people are at work and become injured and pass away as a result of an accident at work. Secondly, death benefits could be when someone is taking or having surgery and during the course of surgery, unfortunately passes away. What are the death benefits? If you have a spouse and children, they could be entitled to a weekly benefit for their lifetime. As a spouse, as long as the spouse does not remarry, that spouse will be entitled to a weekly benefit. As a child, the child will be entitled to the weekly benefit as long as they're in college. In terms of funeral expenses, they would be entitled to reimbursement of funeral expenses to a statutory maximum. This is an unfortunate circumstance, but we are here to help you, and we are here to hold your hand, besides obtain what you are rightfully entitled to.
So I just want to interject for a second. A death benefit can also be entitled to you if, as a result of your illness, you pass away. So it's not just because of a surgery.
Correct.
Or you died at work. It could be people who've developed cancers due to the exposures on 9/11 or due to different exposures at work. If their condition causes them to die, they're also entitled, the family, to the death benefit.
Correct. And you want to speak a little bit about the estate?
Yeah, so if there is no child and no spouse, then there is an estate, and the estate is usually the parents of the person that passed away, or the siblings, or anyone really who's next of kin in the family. So they're entitled to a maximum of $50,000. It's really irrelevant of the reason the person died in terms of whether they lost a limb or there was something different. It's a maximum of $50,000 to the estate. We had a case where we had a skydiving instructor who jumped out of a plane, and unfortunately there was a malfunction with the parachute, and he died. He was not married, did not have any children, but he did have parents, and those parents got $50,000 as a result of his death. Now, there is a way for parents to be entitled to getting the weekly benefits, but that's only if the parents were dependent on the person that died. So if the person that died provided them with their rent and provided them with weekly benefits, and you can establish that and prove that, then those parents may be entitled to get weekly benefits as well.
And the other way is obviously for the spouse and for the children. We did have two recent unfortunate deaths with clients. And one, for example, was a cleaner at JFK who the jet bridge was not there. He stepped out and plunged to his death, unfortunately. He did have a spouse and twin children, and we were able to obtain weekly benefits for them. Additionally, we had another worker who was killed in the course of employment while crossing the street, and that worker had, he was hit by a car, and that worker had, a wife and a son. In that case, though, there was protracted litigation, and we ultimately won after 2 years of going through the process. And why would you think that an employer or an insurance company in this case would fight it? This person was a manager of buildings, and there were multiple buildings that he had to manage, and he was traveling from one building to another at the direction of his employer. While he was going from one building to another, he was struck by a car. The employer in this circumstance believed that he was entitled to the money, but the insurance company was the one that said no, he's not entitled to it, because when he's walking to and from the buildings, he was essentially employed by the individual LLCs for the buildings. So it was a distinguishment within the law. We were able to prevail and find that he was covered, and his wife and his widow and child were able to recover the weekly benefits and the reimbursement of the funeral expenses. But it was a sad process for this widow, because you realize that your spouse has died as a result of something that happened at work, and now you have to go to court and you have to fight for something that you're rightfully entitled to. Beautiful woman, her son is beautiful, and we were just very thankful that we were able to recover the benefits that she's entitled to.
Yes, and if you have more questions about the gray areas of the law, please check out our podcast regarding that. We fight for you. We make sure that your benefits are paid to you, and if there is a death as a result of a work-related accident, let us fight for you. You can reach us at 718-714-8542. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.